I became a junkie at 23 years old, and I stayed addicted for 17 straight years until I was 40. And I just turned 46 a couple days ago. And let me tell you, my brain still feels like I'm 23, but not in the good ways, not in the best ways, not in the, oh my God, I feel so youthful and young ways. Because let me tell you, my body feels my age. My body feels 76 years old. I'm not going to lie. I am in bed by 9. Don't talk to me after sunset. I get angry when people are making loud noise. I am getting older. But in so many ways, I still feel like that clueless, lost 23-year-old just trying to figure things out and be a grown up. Because here I am, 46, almost 6 years into recovery, and I have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm doing. A lot of people say that our emotional maturity gets stunted when we become addicted to a substance. Like the addiction pauses time. And in a lot of ways, I can see how that's a possibility. I remember 20 years ago when I was going to meetings, when I was in AA, and I was sober from coke and booze, and this was before I was a junkie. And I used to look around at all the people, the older people in recovery at the meetings, and they were dressed like they were 16 years old. Like here were people, and I remember it was so funny. They looked like they were in their 40s or 50s, and they were dressing like they were teenagers, right? Like they had been frozen in time. And I remember I used to say to my friends, like, bro, please smack me if that's ever me. Like, if I ever dress like that, and I'm not gonna lie, when I'm getting dressed on a daily basis, like, I think to myself, do I look like I'm trying to be a teenager? Because I remember how those people looked in the meetings, and I was like, oh, absolutely not. Like, somebody please smack me in the stomach as hard as you can if you see me holding on so tightly and trying to hold on and stay in my early 20s when I am so obviously much older. I had zero understanding really because I was in my early 20s. I was like 21 years old, in meetings, going to meetings. And so now that I am probably the age of those people that I used to laugh at, I hope and I pray that I don't look like that because in a lot of ways, I feel still 23 years old. Because it is said that, addiction pauses time, it pauses your emotional maturity. And I can certainly attest to friends that I've had over the years who started getting high in their teenage years or whatever, and knowing them in sobriety, their maturity is still stuck at that age when they started using, which is wild to think, but it makes sense. I spent my entire 20s and 30s in active addiction, getting arrested, in and out of jails, detoxes, hospitals, countless infections, overdoses, all the things that junkies do. That was me. And while all the people my age were getting married and having kids and developing careers and buying houses, I was a junkie and I was going nowhere pretty quickly. It's like my addiction stunted my growth. I mean, really not so much in the maturity way because, and I don't know if it's just me, but I've always been pretty mature for my age, right? I was like the only child in my family and I was always surrounded by adults. So I've always been pretty mature. Like I've always acted a little older, I think, is what I've been told from other people. So I don't feel emotionally immature. I think that I am pretty emotionally intelligent now, today, now that I've healed and done the work on myself. I mean, back 6 years ago, I was probably that of a toddler because I would have temper tantrums and lose my shit over the littlest inconveniences, but I digress. So it's not so much really, I feel like an immature 23-year-old. It's more so just feeling like I'm so inexperienced at life. I mean, sitting in a room of people that are my age, I'll give you an example. There's this woman who I am friends with, and she's what, 7 years older than me? She's 53, and she's in real estate, and she's like a millionaire, and she has her shit together, right? And I feel so what's the word, adolescent around her. I feel so inexperienced around people my age who are developed in their careers and have things and are stable financially and grounded in life. I feel so behind. I lack all that life experience. And while most people my age are having conversations about having more kids or family vacations, mortgages, or opening businesses, buying another house, I'm sitting here like, yay me, I just paid my bill on time, my electricity bill, my Wi-Fi bill, I just paid it and on time or early. I mean, paying a bill early, come on, bro. That's a flex to me, okay? I am awkward in so many ways. Like I am socially awkward now, whereas before I was so much more extroverted. But now, when I'm around normies, I feel so awkward. Like I lost any kind of ability to socialize. But in the mirror, I look 46. Like I am 46. My body feels 46. I'm in perimenopause now. I'm taking vitamins. I'm like worrying about how much protein I get on a daily basis so that I can function, worrying about hormone imbalances and all the things that other 46-year-olds worry about. I have wrinkles. I need reading glasses to read absolutely anything. It's like such a mind fuck, really. The clash is so real. It's a little too real. It's almost that feeling like I don't fit in anywhere. Because it's not like I'm trying to fit in. It's not like I'm trying to act like I'm 23. It's not like I'm hanging out with 23-year-olds. But I also don't feel like I fit in with normal people who are my age. So it's like that feeling of just not belonging anywhere is something that I struggle with. And I'm not going to lie about it. I mean, it doesn't keep me up at night, but it's wild. But then I remind myself like how far I've come and where my life was just 6 years ago. Like, come on, bro. I was not showering. I was lucky if I showered once every 3 or 4 months. I was bald. I lost most of my hair from neglecting myself. I wasn't eating, sleeping. I wasn't taking care of myself. And I mean, I've come so far. So when I feel these ways and feel almost like imposter syndrome, like, what am I doing here? Like, what am I doing here? But then I remind myself of how far I've come and what I have overcome to be where I'm at today. And that everybody's journey is different. And I have to, it took 17 years to burn my entire life to the ground. So it's going to take some time to build a brand new one from scratch, from nothing, which is what I'm trying to do. But I'm not going to lie, bro, it feels like an uphill battle a lot of times. And if you're an OG to my videos, you know that I don't believe in wasted time. I don't sit back and wish I could get that time back. I really don't. Because I never wanted those things in my life, anyways. Like, I never wanted to get married. I never wanted kids. I can't have kids, anyways, but it was never something I saw for myself, ever. I never wanted a traditional career. I never wanted a traditional path. Let's put it that way. So seeing people doing these things and like buying houses and having kids and going on family vacations and talking about, mortgages and all these things, I have never ever felt jealous of that because it's never something I wanted for myself. But it's the stability, it's the experience, it's the being able to relate on an experience level, right? Because traditionally, you're 46, you've at least like had some stability in your life. I would hope so, right? And then here I am just trying to like find a job. Like I'm a felon, I fucked my credit up a million times over. I can't find a job to save my life. I'm trying to build a whole new life from scratch. And it's like, and this is why I will always, always promote AA and meetings because, and even though I'm not in a 12-step program right now and I don't go to meetings right now, I did, 20 years ago, and I know it works. But this is why AA and meetings is so important in this recovery journey because you're surrounded by people who understand these things and who are going through the exact same thing and rebuilding lives and trying to find jobs and literally learning how to live and be a grown up as a healthy individual. Where I'm at now, there's no recovery community. So it's hard. It is so hard. There is literally nobody here that I know who is also in recovery. And because of that, there's literally nobody here in my physical reality who is trying to build a life. Like where I'm at in Mexico, people come here to vacation. People come here to do nothing. People come here to retire. Like nobody's here working or hustling or trying to build a brand new life or create a new life for themselves. People are coming here to relax and do nothing. Literally, I'm surrounded by people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, doing absolutely nothing. Like nobody works. People just go to the beach and drink. That's it. So, because of that, it can be incredibly difficult to stay motivated and to not get caught up in thinking that I am somehow behind in life. Because, like I said, I don't believe in the wasted time. I wouldn't take that time back. I truly believe that my addiction, my 20-year active addiction, had to happen. Every single thing had to happen in order for me to be sitting here in this moment making this video. And because of that, I wouldn't change anything. But as a result of my decisions and my bad choices throughout the years, I am now sitting here as a 46-year-old human woman with literally no life experience. Like, I have never once in my entire life been financially stable in any way, shape, or form. I am trying to do that now. And I lost absolutely everything 5 years, 6 years ago after my parents died. I've never had a career. I mean, I did have a master's degree, but I only worked as a LCSW for, I don't know, 3 years before I lost my license because I became a felon. And then I worked odd jobs over those 17 years of my addiction, waiting tables. So literally, my resume just looks like a few jobs waiting tables. And then my last big girl job was when I was 26, was literally 20 years ago. So, I mean, it makes sense that I feel inexperienced because it's a fact. I am inexperienced. And it's a wild, trippy fucking feeling. And if you're not careful, then that feeling can allow you to kind of sink into this poor me, why did this have to happen to me kind of mentality. But I know better. I have healed and changed my mindset and changed my thinking in so many ways that I know better. I know my brain is just lying to me. I know that my thoughts are not real. I know that how I feel is going to change probably in about 35 seconds. So I know not to depend on how I feel or whatever fleeting thoughts I have. But I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I know I'm not the only one in recovery who feels weird and inadequate and so inexperienced in life, especially when you're surrounded by people your age. It's such a weird feeling, like I can't even describe it. But another thing that I realized over the past 6 years of my healing and recovery is that the people my age who I always looked at, when I was fucked up, when I was still miserable, I looked at these people and I thought that they had it all figured out. I looked at people who are my age, who were around me, whether or not they were normal or partying or whatever they were doing. And I thought I was the only one who was miserable, who didn't have life figured out. So, one thing I've definitely learned is that nobody has anything figured out. Everybody has their own issues. That woman that I was just talking about, like, she has a problem drinking. And although she may look like she's got her shit together, even though she's stable in a lot of ways in her career and looks like she has everything together, I'd be willing to bet that she's not happy. So I remember these things too when I start to feel inadequate or inexperienced or less than, or start comparing my life to other people who are my age. Because we can often forget that we're not the only ones who are trying to figure it all out. Everybody is just trying to figure it out. Nobody, in fact, nobody has anything figured out, really, ever. It's like this mental tug of war. And if you're not careful, sometimes the wrong side could win. But if you know better and you're aware of the fact that you're not the only one and that really nobody has anything figured out, you can reel yourself back in. Even on social media, I had this realization within the last few years that people I follow or people that I compare myself to, and not like in a bad comparison way, but like the people I consider like my competitors on social media. I found that I am looking at 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, like in their 20s. And I realized this one day and I was like, why am I comparing or taking inspiration from or considering these young ass people my competitors or like in my same lane? I'm fucking 46. Or at the time, I was like probably 43 or 44 when I had this realization. And I was like, bro, what am I doing? Because even on social media, people my age, I like, it's like I can't relate. It feels like I can't relate to really anybody. I can't relate to the 23-year-olds because I am way more mature. I am my age maturity level. But I also can't relate to people my age, because I don't have the experiences. And I know that I am wealthy in other types of experiences. I have the street smarts, I have all the life experience that anybody could ever ask for. But you know what I'm talking about. It for real feels like half of me is 46, like the physical half. Like I have the wrinkles, I'm in the perimenopause, I'm worrying about supplements. But when it comes to the other half, I'm really still just that 23-year-old girl trying to be a grown up. And I see a lot online people talking about like millennials, right? Millennials, they're like making jokes like I can't believe we're the new grown ups, because it seems like this is a millennial thing at the same time. Like is it a millennial thing or is it an addict thing? I think it's a little bit of both. The grown ups that were grown ups when I was a teenager looked so much more adult and grown up to me. Because I mean, when you're 16 or 17, 40 sounds like ancient. 40 sounds like you're never going to reach that point. It sounds like a lifetime away. The 40 years old, what that looked like back when I was 16 or 17 compared to what it looks like today is, I mean, could not be more different. Like I'm 46. Shouldn't I be like not wearing ripped jeans? Shouldn't I be like not showing my tummy? Or I mean, listen, you will never catch me in old lady clothes. And I say old lady, but again, when I was 16, the age I am now was an old lady. So it's just such a wild trip. It is such a wild trip. So yeah, on paper, I'm 46 years old. But inside, in my brain, I still very much feel like that 23-year-old girl just trying to figure life out and be a grown up and be responsible and build a life. And I think a lot of us feel that way, even if our stories look different. So tell me in the comments, how old do you feel on the inside? Can you relate to anything that I just said? Does your brain feel different than the number on your license? Because I swear, we're all just winging it around here. We're all just trying to figure shit out. So, with that, I think that's all I have to say for today. But before I forget, like and subscribe. Okay, that's all. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.